Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen. Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathiran kathira. Famabadu. This is the second khutbah in the series on fundamentals. Focus on the fundamentals. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to understand our deen correctly and to live by it, so that we are successful in this world and the next. It is one of the articles of our faith to believe in divine destiny, qadar of Allah, and to be pleased with it. Rida bil qada is proof of our iman and a sign of tawakkul. Islamic understanding about destiny is that we have been given limited choice in our lives. Some things have been written for us and cannot be changed. In others, we have the freedom to choose what we want for ourselves. For example, we are free to choose to eat whatever we want. But what the food will do to us physically and spiritually is not in our control. The best way to understand what we have a choice in and what we don't is to look at the questions that we will be asked in the akhirah. We will be questioned only in matters where we have the freedom to choose. That is justice, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-adil, the just. Those are the matters that we must be concerned about exclusively. عن ابن مسعود عبد الله ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: لا تزول قدم ابن آدم يوم القيامة من عند ربه حتى يسأل عن خمس عن عمره فيما أفناءه وعن شبابه فيما أبلاءه وماله من أين اكتسبه وفيما أنفقه وماذا عمل فيما علم. Ibn Masud radiallahu anhu narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the feet of the son of Adam shall not move from before his Rabb on the day of judgment until he is asked about five things: about his life and what he did with it, about his youth and what he wore it out in, how he spent his youth, about his wealth and how he earned it and what he spent it upon, and what he did with what he knew, which is his knowledge. Five things. Now we understand from this that the quantum, the quantity, the amount of what we can get in this life is fixed, but we have the choice of how to get it, the means. And that is what we will be questioned about, the means and not the quantum. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained this in the following hadith. عن عبد الله ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال: كنت خلف رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يوما فقال: يا غلام إني أعلمك كلمات احفظ الله يحفظك احفظ الله تجده تجاهك إذا سألت فأسأل الله وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله واعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك وإن اجتمعوا على أن يضرك بشيء لم يضرك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف. On the authority of Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, who said, one day I was behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam riding on the same mount, and he said, "O young man, I will teach you some words of advice." some nasiha. And then he said, be mindful of Allah, remember Allah, and Allah will protect you. Be mindful of Allah and you will find Him in front of you. If you ask Allah alone. If you need help, seek help from Allah alone. And know that if the nations were to gather to benefit you with anything, they would not benefit you except with what Allah has already prescribed for you. Allah has already written for you. And if they were to gather to harm you with anything, they would not be able to harm you except with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already prescribed or wrote against you. The pens have been lifted and the pages have dried. And this is in Tirmidhi. The deception of shaitan is that he convinces us to worry about what is not in our control and already written and about which we will not be questioned. That is the amount of wealth, material, power, knowledge, influence, and all such things. And he convinces us to worry about, and he convinces us not to worry about. He tells us to worry about the things that we have been, that have already been written, and not to worry about the things that we will be questioned about, which is how we acquired all these things. We will not be questioned about the amount of wealth, but we will be questioned about where we got it from, how, and where we spent it, and so on. The antidote to this deception is to understand and leave the what to Allah and focus on the how. If we do the how right, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah and blessing in all that He gave us and fill our lives with the sweetness and light of His mercy and pleasure. If instead of this, we use wrong means to get our material wants in life, it will attract the punishment and anger of Allah. But the amount of what we will get will not change. The amount of what we get by these wrong means will not change. We will still get only what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrote for us in the first place. Tell me, does it make sense to spoil our eternal situation to get something which we would have got anyway, and which, if we use the right means, will also get us Jannah? Does it make sense? Imagine this. You are standing in front of a huge warehouse with a glass front, and you can look inside it and you can see everything in it. This warehouse contains all that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written for you. Everything physical, material, mental, all knowledge, your family, your friends, your wealth, your influence. You imagine every single thing is inside this warehouse and you can see it. All of it is yours. It belongs to you and you alone. Everything in the warehouse is yours. And all you need to do is to go in and take it. It is as simple as that. Go in and take it. Nobody else can take it away, and nobody can prevent you from taking what is in that warehouse. Also, nobody can give you anything other than what is in the warehouse. Now, this warehouse has two doors on either end. One is marked halal and the other one is marked haram. Both the doors have cameras with retina recognition, face recognition, and will open for you as soon as you stand in front of them. Right? So as soon as you stand in front of the door, the camera takes a picture of your face and retina your eyes, and the door opens for you. Now imagine that you are standing in front of the door marked haram, and the door is open because as soon as you stand there, door opens. You are about to enter when I see you there and I call out to you and I say, stop. Don't enter through that door. Come around. Enter through this door which is marked halal. You will still get everything in the warehouse. It is all yours and nobody can take it away from you. Right? So I'm calling you and saying, come through this way. Instead of from this door, come from this door, and same warehouse, same thing. Now, makes sense. You agree. You turn around. What do you think happens? What is the first thing that happens as soon as you turn around? The door will close because the camera can no longer see your face. As long as the camera sees your face, the door will remain open. As soon as you turn around, the door closes. Now what do? You panic. You panic. And you turn around and the door opens again. Now, I call out and I say, leave that. The other door will also open for you in the same way. Just come around, use that door, and you will get the same things, same warehouse, nothing has changed. You will get the same things, but with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with barakah and with the rida of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you will get all those stuff and you will also get Jannah. Come this way. But if you go through this door which is open now, you will still get the same things, nothing will change, but with them you will get punishment in this life and the akhirah. So turn around, come this way. But now you tell me, no, hold on a second. You open that door for me and I will come. Otherwise, this one is open and I am going in. Now, think about this. Can I open that door for you? Because that camera is programmed to open when it sees your face and your eyes. That door will not open for anybody on the face of the earth. It won't open for your own children. It won't open for your parents. It won't open for anybody. It's for you. But you say, no. You open the door and show me, then I will come. Now this is the leap of faith. This is happening in our lives every single day. Right? Every single day. This is the leap of faith. And that leap of faith is called tawakkul. That leap of faith is called iman billah. We take the leap of faith because we believe Allah. We take the leap of faith because we believe the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are many ayat. I mean, I am restricted by time. Otherwise, I would have, shown you all of that. But look in the Quran, all the ayat related to rizq. What is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying? قُلْ إِنَّ رَبِّي يَبْسُطُ الرِّزْقَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَقْدِرُ وَلَكِنْ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, say to them, Ya Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is my Rabb who expands your provision or restricts it. But most people don't understand. We have control over the means, not over the amount. This is the choice that we must make. We must choose the means only. We must choose the right means only. The quantity is already decided. We have no choice in that. If we choose the right door, we will get everything in the warehouse of our rizq with blessing, with khair and barakah. If not, we will still get the same things, but with the anger of Allah. Does that make sense? Ask yourself, my brothers and sisters, and decide once and for all. Finally, one of the most important hadith about halal and haram. عن نعمان بن بشير رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الحلال بين والحرام بين وبينهما مشبهات لا يعلمها كثير من الناس فمن اتقى المشبهات استبرأ لدينه وإرضه ومن وقع في الشهبات كراع يرعى حول الحمى يشيك أن يواقيه ألا وإن لكل ملك حمى ألا إن حمى الله في أرضه محارمه ألا وإن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله وإذا فسدت فسد الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. And this is in Sahih Hadith and Sahih Bukhari. And Nu'man ibn Bashir radiallahu anhu reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the lawful is clear, the halal is clear, and the unlawful, the haram is clear. And between the two of them are doubtful matters, about which many people do not know. Thus, he who avoids doubtful matters clears himself regarding his religion and his honor. And he who falls into doubtful matters will fall into the haram, will fall into the unlawful. As the shepherd who pastures near a sanctuary, all but grazing therein, that is he's taking his sheep all the way to the boundary. Verily, every king has a sanctum, a sacred place, and the sanctum of Allah is his prohibitions. Verily, in the body is a piece of flesh, which if sound, the entire body is sound, and if corrupt, the entire body is corrupt, and truly it is the heart. And this is a Sahih Hadith, muttafaqun alayhi, agreed upon in Bukhari and Muslim. Finally, the beautiful hadith in Tirmidhi, قال حسن بن علي رضي الله عنهما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم دعا ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك فإن الصدق طمأنينة وإن الكذب ريبة. Hasan ibn Ali radiallahu anhuma reported, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, leave that which makes you doubt for what does not make you doubt. Verily, truth brings peace of mind and falsehood sows doubt. And this is in Tirmidhi. Therein lies the safety for the believer, to leave the doubtful for the certain. Sometimes we believe that we Muslims are held back from progress because we are not allowed to take interest-based loans. Let me try to address this in the only way that matters, and that is the context of the Akhirah. The first thing to get clear in our minds is the meaning of progress and success. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He gave us the metric, He gave us the way to measure that. He said, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. In Surah Al-Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, every soul shall taste death. If you are born, you will die. Every soul shall taste death, and you will only receive your full reward on the Day of Judgment. Whoever is spared from the fire and is admitted into Jannah will indeed triumph. That person is the only person who is successful. Whereas the life of this world is no more than the delusion of enjoyment. Life of this world is nothing more than the delusion of enjoyment. My brothers and sisters, Islam is a belief system. You enter Islam by believing and declaring that belief. It is equally simple to leave Islam. That is why it is essential to ensure that we never say or do anything that contradicts or denies our belief. That is why knowledge is important, and it begins with fundamentals. To illustrate with a simple example, Salah is a fundamental principle and one of the 5 pillars of Islam. If someone doesn't pray, he or she is committing a major sin for which they must seek forgiveness. But if a person prays, but says that the prayer, the Salah, is not fard, but optional, and you can pray or not pray depending on your wish. If a person is saying that, that person has left Islam, even though he or she may pray regularly. So this person is praying regularly, but he says, "No, this is not fard. It's up to you. You want to pray, pray. You don't want to pray, don't pray." You have left Islam. If a person, and the same thing applies to everything else which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made fard or prohibited. If somebody says it's okay to drink, it doesn't matter, once in a while, it's okay to fornicate, it's okay to do this, do that, you have left Islam. It is as simple and as serious as that. If a Muslim believes and speaks contrary to that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited or made fard, has commanded, then that person is in danger of leaving the fold of Islam. It's not just a matter of opinion. If the opinion of a Muslim contradicts or denies what Allah ordered or His Messenger ﷺ taught, it takes the person out of Islam. He will then have to repent and seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness and re-enter Islam. If not, if he doesn't do that and he dies, then he would have died without Islam. Even if he had been doing other prescribed things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this rule of complete obedience very clear. In Islam, selective obedience is disobedience and may result in our Islam being rejected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let me give you two examples. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu udkhulu fis silmi kaffatan wa la tattabi'u khutuwati shaitan innahu lakum aduwwun mubin. Allah said, O believers, O you who believe, enter Islam completely and do not follow in the footsteps of shaitan. Surely he is your sworn enemy. The ayah is addressed to the believers who already believe, showing that merely saying that we believe is not enough. Belief must be demonstrated in all aspects of life. It's not a matter of personal choice. The word Muslim is a verb. It describes someone who is doing something, someone who has submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not someone who knows about Islam no matter how much, but does not practice Islam. A Haji is someone who has done Hajj, not the bus driver for the Hujjaj. A Sa'im is the one who fasts, not someone who knows about fasting. A Musalli is the one who's praying, not someone who knows how to pray but doesn't pray himself. So a Muslim is one who practices Islam, not somebody who knows about Islam. About selective obedience, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared very clearly, أَفَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْدِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْدِ فَمَا جَزَاءُ مَنْ يَفْعَلُ ذَلِكَ مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا خِزْيٌ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يُرَدُّونَ إِلَىٰ أَشَدِّ الْعَذَابِ وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. Allah said, do you believe in some part of the scripture and reject the rest? Is there any reward for those who do so among you other than disgrace in this worldly life and being subjected to the harshest punishment on the day of judgment? For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not unaware of what you do. This is our biggest problem today. May Allah forgive us. Muslims want Islam in their choice of flavor. But Islam didn't come in different flavors. The beauty of Islam is that it is universal and the same for all people everywhere in every era. There is no Arab Islam and American Islam and Desi Islam or Chinese Islam or whatever. There is one Islam. And all those who practice it are Muslims. Equal before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, distinguished only by the extent to which they are concerned about pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is, distinguished and differentiated only by their taqwa. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hujurat, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. Inna Allaha alimun khabir. Surely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, surely the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous among you. Not the king, not the queen, not the person with money, not the person with power. No, the one who is the most righteous, the one who has most taqwa. Atqakum has the most taqwa. Surely the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous among you. Allah is truly all-knowing, all-aware. Inna Allaha alimun khabir. My brothers and sisters, I remind myself and you that we Muslims are people of action. We are distinguished by what we do. Let us focus on that. What we choose to do or not to do defines brand value and character. Inshallah, more next Friday. But let us reflect on what I have said and ask ourselves where we stand today. A day will come when that will be the difference between Jannah and the other place. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us Jannah and to be pleased with us and to save us from His anger and from His punishment. وصلى الله على نبي الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.